Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday, June 20th. My name is Karen, and this is Bobblehead Knits. So welcome to my knitting channel. This is where we talk about all my knitting, a little bit about TV, books, my life, travel, things like that, but mostly about knitting. So I have a finished object that I'm going to share with you, and I wasn't here last week, so if you were watching last week, you were watching a video that I had pre-recorded that involved what was in my bag, my sock stash bag, and I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed making it and realized that I needed more striped sock yarn, so I might have acquired some since I made that video. I'll share it with you today, what I bought. All right, but first, before we do that, let's do finished objects. I did finish something, and here it is. Not the monkey, but Charlie the chimpanzee now has a t-shirt. There it is. Finished it the other day. It didn't take long to knit, it's just that I was traveling, so I didn't take it with me. It was very easy to knit. It was a pattern that was from the Louise Crowther book, Wild Knitted Friends, I believe. Can't remember, and I don't want to reach down there and get it. This is Skepsies. I think I said that right. And it took, hang on, I will tell you exactly what it took. It took about 19 grams of it out of a 50-gram ball. So I have quite a bit of it left over. And he already had his shorts. Next up, I will be knitting his jacket. He has a jacket that's supposed to go with him. He's also supposed to have shoes. Don't know if I'm gonna knit the shoes. I might, we'll see. But yes, came out very nice. He was supposed to have a button in the back, was supposed to be a button. I just tacked it closed. And then after I finished tacking it closed, I remembered that I had bought Velcro, tiny little strips of Velcro to put on here. And I was like, hey, forget it. Just leave it with this on. So this was, Charlie the chimpanzee was originally supposed to be for me because I love monkeys. However, Atticus, my 2-year-old grandson, discovered him, and so now we are sharing him. He's going to live over here. He's not going home with Atticus. Atticus has 3 big dogs, one of whom is a puppy and eats everything. So we don't, his mom and I agreed that probably not a good idea to send Charlie the chimpanzee over to their house right now. So, yeah, it was fun knitting. I will be talking about another project out of that book that I will be doing next month. So I'll share it with you in a few weeks. Well, actually a little bit I'll share today. So, all right. Yes, so a little finished project. There it is. Yes. The next stuffy that I do out of the book, I'm going to stuff better, more stuffing. I'm also going to do the neck a little bit more solid because see how wobbly he is? His neck is like mine, kind of wobbly. Mine's not wobbling today, but yeah, he and I are twins. But I have a wobbly neck, and some of you will know about that. I'm not going to go into it right now. But yes, Charlie and I both have wobbly necks, but I feel like the next project that I work on, I can do better with this wobbly neck. So, all right. So that's Charlie's t-shirt. Easy, simple t-shirt. All right. Charlie's going to sit up here and watch me as I show you my next finished object. It is technically a half-finished object, but we're going to count it. Hang on, let me go back in to my project so you all can get the details. All right, this is a vanilla sock that I was totally making up the pattern. It's a pretty basic vanilla sock, but I am trying to get the perfect sock recipe for me. So here is what we have. It's gorgeous. This is Freckled Whimsy in the colorway Sunshine and Snow Cones. And what did I do? It's 56 stitches. So I basically, I knit the DRK Everyday Sock from Andrew and Mowry. That's a 2x2 rib. I actually started it with that in mind, but then decided I was tired of that pattern, so I just started knitting a straight vanilla sock. And the only thing that I did do is when I got to the heel, I did the Flegel heel. I followed the instructions in the Andrew and Mowry pattern, and then I just got creative. The pattern that Andrew Mowry wrote calls for a little bit more depth here. I didn't do that because, again, I'm trying to get the perfect sock recipe for me, and this actually might be it. So originally I was making these as a gift, but then I realized if I'm doing these as a perfect sock recipe for me, it needs to be my sock. So these are going to stay with me, and I'm going to cast on the second one in probably later today, tomorrow. And yeah, it was very fast. It was quick to knit up, and I don't even think I had shown you this when I cast it on. I think I like wound it up and just went wild, and so you never saw it as a new cast on. So there it is. And yeah, I like it. I like the fit. The problem is it is so hot right now here in Colorado that I won't be wearing these for a few months, so I won't know if this is the perfect sock pattern. But I'm gonna go with it for now because it feels pretty good. When I put it on, it feels like it will be the sock. So there we go. Okay, trying to get that picture. Yeah, okay. What else did we do? Oh, I could have made it a little longer. I had quite a bit left I could have gone longer, but I like my socks a little shorter, so this is actually pretty long for me, but yeah, love it. Okay, put that over here. Actually, I'm just gonna stick that over here. All right, let's talk about the other things I've been knitting on. All right, I have 3 other whips that I have been knitting on since you saw me last. We will start with, let's start with this one. This one didn't get as much love as it should have. I've kind of getting tired of knitting the same pattern, that's why. So I need to switch it up. So this is the DRK Everyday Sock from Andrew and Mowry. And it also is 56 stitches, and it is the solid half. I've been working on this for a few weeks. I just am not feeling this pattern anymore. I'm tired of it. It's that 2x2 rib. I'm just over it. I like the fit. I like the 2x2 fit, but yeah, I want to do something different. So I'll probably finish these and then try a different pattern. This is Flegel heel toe up, so toe up. So I think I'll try another type of heel at some point. So we'll see. There it is. It's beautiful. The yarn is, hang on, let me get the yarn. It is Take Flight collection from Hue Loco, and they were individual mini balls, and I'm just striping them and making it work. So this one is actually ready for the heel, or not for the heel, but for the gusset and all that stuff. I'm turning for the heel soon. So you'll have to wait and see what I do with it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I'll figure it out. All right, so that got a little tiny bit of love this week, but not much. So I need to work on that. The other project that I'm working on, very excited about showing you this because it's been hanging around here since, I don't know, like last July. All right, this is the Mystery Sock-A-Long project from Stephen West from last summer. The Color Opportunity sock. And let me show you, hold on. I have one sock done, which I finished last summer. And I just got bored with it, which is amazing when you think about it, because it's Stephen West, right? But I wasn't feeling it. I didn't cast on the second one, and I did cast it on, but I didn't go very far. And then I kept saying the last month or so that I was going to pick it up, and I didn't, but I finally did. So this is the sock that is done and ready. There it is. Yeah, I have a little tiny hole here, so just ignore it. I'll fix it later. But there it is. This is, I can't remember I made this size 2. I don't know what that means because I don't have the pattern in front of me, but it fits me, but it's a little loose. So I don't really want to give this away because well, I could give it away, but we'll see. I had my husband try it on and it doesn't fit because, well, it does fit, but it was hard for him to get it over his heel. So that's why I don't want to give it to him. And he's the only person that I would give it to because there are like little issues with it that I don't feel like I want to give to someone else. So I'll probably just keep it, wear it around the house. But this is not the one that I knit on. The one that I knit on is right here. I picked it up. I took it with me on my trip. Sorry, got an itch. And I had last summer gotten to that blue ridge right there, or greenish turquoise ridge. I'd gotten that much done. So I continued on. So I got the 3 little ridges done. And I'm getting ready. I just have to do a little bit more of the purple, and then I'm gonna connect it and we'll see if it fits. But I did get a little done, so yay me. It will get done. And I'm gonna work on this today, so yeah, okay. The sock yarn for this was from Dark Omen. It's merino sock yarn, and I got it last summer at Stephen and Penelope, Stephen West store in Amsterdam. We were traveling, and I went in there, and I was like originally not gonna knit the sock, but then they had this yarn, and I was like, yeah, I'm knitting that sock. So what can I say? This is the yarn. One's still attached, so there it is. It's beautiful yarn. It's an Italian yarn. Love it. Very beautiful colors. And that's all I got on that. With any luck, it'll be done before Stephen does another Sox-A-Long. I probably will not do the Sox-A-Long this year. I have other socks that I'm obsessed with, so yeah, not doing it. But we'll see. I didn't think I was going to do last year's, and I did. Okay, hang on one second here. It's pretty easy knitting when it comes down to it. Well, it does have brioche, but you know, his tutorials are so good that if you don't know, if you're not clear on what to do, you just go watch his videos and then he walks you through it. So, okay. All right, next project is this one you have not seen. This is a muscle burra, which I am doing for my husband for his birthday. And I cast this on right after I filmed last, and at the time I was juggling. Had a few different yarns that I was eyeing, and I was like, oh, I might do that yarn, I might do this yarn. Well, I finally settled on this beautiful yarn, and this is Trailing Clouds Nimbus. It's a self-striping sock yarn. It's beautiful. It's a British sock yarn. It's BFL and nylon. And I love the feel of it, honestly. As soon as I started knitting this and really got going, I was like, I think I want to keep this for myself. But no, I'm not going to. I'm giving it to my husband. There it is. So I've made a big headway on this. I did from here to here in 2 weeks, which is, for me, because I'm a slow knitter, pretty good. But a lot of it was plain knitting, and I actually took this project out on Knit in Public Day. So I was walking around with it. So I have I'm about halfway there. So it should be gorgeous. When I told my husband, I knew he wanted a muscle burrow because he had seen mine. And so I was like, I'll knit this. I'm gonna knit this for your birthday. And given how long it took me to knit his sweater, that if you go back and watch a couple episodes ago, given how long that took, he said, which birthday? His birthday's in October. I'm positive this will be done by his birthday. So, all right. Love this. I am using US 3s on this, and my gauge is 7.5 stitches, so yeah, perfect. It's a little airier than mine, a little looser fabric, but I'm okay with that because you double it over, so it'll be a perfect kind of lighter weight hat. He has a couple hats that I've knit for him that are really much heavier, like worsted weight. So this will be a nice change for him. And I asked, are you okay with the pink in there? And he was like, yes, of course I am. So yes, he's excited, and it will match his coat. He has a coat that is like that orange color. So this BFL is just gorgeous. I did go look on her website. She is a small dyer in England, and I went on her website to see if she had any more of this, because originally I was going to knit some socks, Mind the Gap socks, and with this, which is what this was meant for. But since I ended up using it for the hat, I was like, well, maybe I'll buy some more. Well, she doesn't have it anymore. So, and I've had this in my stash for a few years. So it's probably one of the first indie dyed yarn, self-striping yarns that I bought. And it's beautiful. So, and I love BFL, it's so soft. All right, moving on. All right, this, by the way, as long as we're on this project, I'm gonna show you. I bought this bag right before I left on vacation from Jimmy Bean's Wool. It's a Delicue little snap bag, and it's, I believe, the smallest one they make, and it was perfect for travel. I used it. I was able to stick my yarn in there, the hat, the needles, a couple little, like things, little toolkits, and a few other things, and it was perfect. And it has a little wristband, and it's bright. So yes, so if you're in the market for something little like that, yes, it will work great. It was perfect for travel. I was able to really scrunch it up and stick it in my bag, which is in my backpack, which is what I always look for in a good travel knitting bag. So yes, if you're in the market for one. Okay, that is it for whips. I do have one more whip, but I'm not currently knitting on it. It's a languishing whip. It's in timeout, so I'll show you that later. Okay, oh, I'm looking at my iPad, sorry. I'm just trying to see. Oh, okay. Well, let's just go on to some stash enhancements now. Sorry, I am so sweaty. It's 100 degrees here today, and I thought it would be a good idea to ride my bike to the pool where I did my swim training, and then I rode it back. And then I went to my doctor and gave blood. So I'm hot and sweaty and knocking back the water and feeling exhausted. So just so you know, okay? I'll talk about our vacation in a bit, but it was nice to get away and be somewhere where it was kind of nice and cool for a while, because then I came back to this and I keep thinking, at least I got a little break before the real heat came. So, all right, moving on. Let's talk about stash enhancements while you're all here. Okay, while you're all here, I'm sure it's not stash enhancements, but hang on. Before I jump into what I brought back from vacation, I'm going to go through some of the yarn that was waiting for me here when I got home. Okay. First up, the last episode, sorry for the crinkle, the last episode that, last regular episode, I had shown you that I had bought these little minis from Freckled Whimsy. These. I had only bought 3. I meant to buy 4. Yeah. So I got my 4th one. So now I can add this. This is peppermint mocha. I have 4 of these, so I have 80 grams, and I'm gonna knit some socks with these. Probably next month, I hope. These are Christmas socks, but I'm doing Christmas in July, so hopefully I will knit these next month. So yes, so that came, just a little 20 gram mini. And that was actually really fast because I ordered it like, I don't know, like the day I recorded, and it was here the day I left, I think. Yeah, so it was very fast. Okay, I do need to figure out where the other 3 are. I don't know where I put them. I think they might already be in the sock bag, but we'll check. Okay. All right, the other thing that was here when I got back was this big old bag. Ooh, hang on. Sorry, crinkle. This is, I'm gonna botch this, but I hope I don't. It's called Lindy Hobby, Linde Hobby, and it is a online yarn store in Denmark. And the reason I went there and nowhere else was because I needed enough Skepsies yarn to make another project out of my Knit It Wild Animal Friends book. So yes, let me show you what it is. I should have marked this book, but sorry I did not. So you all are gonna have to bear with me while I'm looking for her. Sorry, it's a her. I also have my glasses on, so I can't see. I have my reading glasses, I just don't feel like putting them on. First one, I'm going to knit Olivia the elephant. I am knitting her as a Christmas gift for my daughter. So my daughter loves elephants. And I'll tell you the story about why she loves elephants later. But I needed a bunch of yarn to knit this, and I had to change up the colors because my daughter was being, she was very specific about what she wanted. So I did go with what the yarn was as far as they recommend Skepsies, so that's what I bought. I have a little bit like from Charlie the Chimpanzee, but I did not want those colors for this. So my daughter requested a hot pink elephant. I'll tell you why later, just in another episode. So I had to start by getting a hot pink main bundle. This is what I ordered. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't think that's gonna be the right color. But my daughter happened to be home that day, so I asked her without telling her I was making this because this is gonna be a Christmas gift. So I just pulled this out and I said, Kai, what color is this? My daughter's name is Kai. I was like, what color do you think that is? She's like, that's pink. I was like, do you think that's hot pink? And she's like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, I was worried it was too red. And she happened to have a red shirt on. She held it up. She's like, this is pink. This is not hot red. So because she said it was pink, I was like, well, that's what I'm using then. So I got 2 of those, all from this place. So when I went to order, I originally went to Jimmy Bean's Wool because that's where I usually get this stuff. And they did not have most of the colors, they were out. So I was like, I'm gonna go somewhere else. So then I started looking at all the various online places where I could get it cheap, and because it's a lot of yarn. And this was the place that had all the colors I wanted, and it was incredibly cheap. It was on sale, so I'll just kind of go through. Sorry, crinkle. So I got 2 of those big old pink ones. I got 3 of these, which are bridal white. And I'm varying, the colors are different from what the pattern calls for, because since the body of the elephant in the book is gray, I had to vary it to get the colors to work with the hot pink. So, but some of them are the same. I got this. These, are they 2? I think they are, yeah, they're the same color. There's some kind of pink, I can't remember what they are, but they're a lighter pink. Got 2 silver. These are more silver than they're showing up, but they're more like a real icy silver. And a lavender. And then I got these. So next month I will be hopefully done with Charlie the chimpanzee, and then I'm going to cast on Louise the elephant. So those were all waiting for me. The shipping took a little bit longer than I thought it would, based on what was on the website, but it wasn't outrageously expensive. The yarn was on sale, so I got it really cheap. Yeah, so I would order from them again. Some of the yarn on their website are things I'm not really interested in, but for this particular project, they had the right selection of the specific yarn I needed, so that's why I ordered from them. So I was happy about that. All right, let's get on to the souvenir yarn that I know many of you want to know about. So hang on. All right, we will start with where I went first. So if you haven't been here before, I went to Vancouver and Victoria in British Columbia. It was the first time I had left the airport in Canada, and we were really excited. My husband and I had such a good time. Excuse me. Let me have a drink of water really quick. All right, so we had a lovely time, and I'll talk to you more about the trip and life stuff. But first knitting store I went in was called Beehive Wool Shop in Victoria, and I bought this bag. There it is. It's a perfect canvas bag. I really love these kind of bags for yarn projects, and for just walking around with. It was perfect. It has this big pocket in front, plus a place to put like your water bottle, and then plus the bigger pocket where I put all my yarn. So yeah, and I bought that mainly so that I could carry my yarn. Because that particular day I did not have a bag with me. I was like, I'm just gonna get it. So I went in there with the intent of just buying. I had 2 projects in mind. Okay, first I decided I needed more self-striping yarn, and I wanted it to be Canadian yarn. And I had heard of this company, and they have one store in New Jersey, and you can order from them online too. But I was like, they got self-striping, so I'm buying it. So I bought 2 skeins of this, but the first one, it's Biz Sock. It's Biscot. If I'm saying this wrong, I know I have Canadian viewers. Just tell me if I got it wrong, okay? And this is Biz Sock is the base. And it is, okay, I'm gonna have to put on my glasses now. I'm blind. Okay, it is 85.15, and the colorway is rainbow. I have a lot of rainbow skeins. I need to knit up. But that will be going in the the Lucky Dip sock bag. It's gorgeous. All right, so that was skein number 1. Skein number 2, also from Biz Scott, also Biz Sock, is this beauty, and it is the Ophelia colorway, and it is beautiful. I might have another skein from another dyer that is similar to this. I was like, do I have something like that? But I was like, it's okay to have 2. They're different brands. So, yeah, this is not indie dyed yarn, but that's okay because I was just like, as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, I want to try that yarn. So, you know, I was like, I'm just going to get some. I was going to only get 1, but then I saw this and I was like, I'll get 2. So, and I got the bag. All right. We went into another yarn store on Granville Island, which is Vancouver area. It was basically the owner of the shop talked me out of the yarn I wanted, so I left. My husband had such a good laugh over that. The other project that I was specifically buying yarn for was for a KAL for my sister, and I was looking for magenta and sage green. So I needed 2 skeins of fingering weight, and I went in and I found something that was magenta with some other, you know, it was like variegated, beautiful yarn. It was hand spun by this woman in the shop, and I don't know the name of the shop, and I don't want to say it anyways, but I was looking at it, and then I was showing this green color to my husband with it, and I was like, is that sage green? And we're standing there talking, and the woman came over and she's like, oh no, those do not go together. And then she was like picking out all these colors that I was not interested in. I almost told her, why don't you go watch some Stephen West and then you'll be okay with these colors together. But she was so adamant that no, those colors would not work together. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go somewhere else. So yeah, I left because I was like looking for something very specific, and I almost had it. I felt like the magenta, I would have at least bought the magenta there and then gotten the sage green somewhere else. But I was so turned off by her like insisting that I couldn't do those 2 colors together that I was like, forget it, I'm out. So I left. Okay, but then I thought that was like on Saturday, maybe? Yeah, Saturday. And then I thought, oh, I'm not gonna have a chance to go out to any other yarn stores because the other yarn stores I wanted to go out were what I thought were further outside of downtown Vancouver where we were staying. Well, we ended up renting bikes and we ended up riding back to Granville Island. I don't think the yarn store, technically, the one that we went into, technically is on Granville Island, but it's on that side. It's on the island side. So we went over there and I started looking and I found so much yarn that I loved. Some of it I really could have just bought wherever, but yeah, I'll show you. So, okay. For the magenta, this is what I got. It's Puzzle Tree Yarns. Look at that. Hot pink, magenta, close enough. It actually has, if you look right here, it has a little bit of the green that I wanted, sage green. This is just sock yarn. So the KAL I'm knitting is going to be brioche. So I'm gonna do this. And then this is local, small independent dyer in Vancouver, and this yarn is gorgeous. And I bought some more of her yarn too, which I'll show you in a second, but I want to show you the color that I found that will go with this. And this is variegated, so it has, you know, it's different shades, but it has enough of that magenta in it that it's gonna be great. I ended up, and this is not even local dyed yarn, but I saw it and was like, that'll work. Knitting for Olive. So that's what I got. And because it has that little green, I think it'll work fine. So there it is. So I got 2 of the Knitting for Olive. This is Dusty Artichoke, and then this. So I think it'll be perfect. And despite what the woman said at the second store I went to, for if you're like into color like I am, this will work. So yes. And I'll talk more about the pattern I'll be knitting when we talk about Christmas in July, which I'm doing with Karen at Recreational Knitting and anyone else who joins Karen. So yes, I'm very happy. I really love this Puzzle Tree yarns. This is just beautiful. So let me show you what else I bought. Also Puzzle Tree yarns. This is, I really should have just stopped there, but of course I didn't. And I was like, I really want this skein of yarn. Look at this. Look at that. It is so pretty. Also Puzzle Tree yarns. And this is, what is this? This is 75.25, and it's variegated, which, I mean, I prefer self-striping, but a good variegated you can't go wrong with. So as soon as I saw these colors, I was like, oh, that's gone home with me. But then I was like, I don't really have, well, I could probably get by with doing the heels and cuffs in some color that I already have, but I don't have anything that is as cool and is just amazingly beautiful as that. Look at that. So I bought this is a mini skein also of Puzzle Tree yarns to do together, to do some socks. So these will go into, when I add back the variegated yarn into the Lucky Dip bag, this will go in it. So yes, very happy with that. So that's all I bought in Canada of yarn. I would have bought more, but honestly, I knew that I had a bunch of yarn waiting for me at home. I was trying to be very intentional when I was shopping. So I knew that, I was like, self-striping and the yarn for my sister's KAL. That's all I'm buying. And then I had to get something for me. So that was it. I was pretty, used my self-control until it came to shopping for some Canadian candy bars. I'm gonna go ahead and show you this now, even though it's not part of my collection of yarn. It is just something that if you're Canadian and you ever wanted to send me anything, I'm joking, don't really send me these. Well, you could, but not really. I fell in love with these candy bars. I'm going to show it to you. This is actually not the candy bar. This is the mini version of the candy bars. I had never had these until I went to Vancouver, and I brought home a bunch. Coffee Crisp Minis. So good. I think I brought home 5 full-size candy bars and 2 of these mini packs. I might be just going back to Canada just to buy these candies. They are so good. They have a little caffeine in it, they have chocolate, they're wafer cookies. So yeah, I know I have some Canadian viewers, so I might hit you up, send you some money, and have you buy me some more and ship them. Just maybe, if I can't go back to Canada. We'll see. Just a suggestion. Yeah, my husband laughed at me because the day before we left, I was like, we have to go in the store so I can get some more of those. So I got these. And then at the airport, I came walking up with 5 full-size candy bars. So yeah, that's all I bought in Canada. All right. Okay, so those were my acquisitions. We had such a good time, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to life stuff. All right, Other knitty things, I am going to cast on Charlie the chimpanzee's little coat. Hang on, let me see. I know I've shown this before, but just in case, I'm going to cast this on, the little coat. And Mandy at Mandy Von Knit, she and I both want this little coat. It's a hoodie. We both want this coat in our sizes because that is just a gorgeous coat. So, but I'll be knitting Charlie this coat. I'm also going to be finishing those 2 socks that I still have left to do. Yeah, that's the only other knitty things I have on the agenda this coming week. I do plan on doing a Christmas in July, like these are the projects that I'm going to be casting on, so you all can see them. Probably the last weekend of June, I'll show you those. And yeah, that's it. Okay. All right. If you're not sticking around and you want to stay in touch still, you can reach out to me on Google or Gmail at BobbleHeadKnits@gmail.com. I'm also on Ravelry at BobbleHeadKnits. I am also on this YouTube channel, and I just learned 2 days ago that they have this community feature now. It's kind of like Instagram. You can post pictures and then like little, posts. And so I've been doing that the last few days, and I like it a lot. I left Instagram earlier this year, and I do miss Instagram. So I'm trying to use the community feature a little bit more. You have to, if you want to look at the community feature, you have to look at it on your phone or iPad, I guess. It's not on the computer, on the regular computer. So you have to use the app to see it. So go check it out, and you might have access to your own if you want to set up a community page. It's basically, if you do a post, if you do it's not a short, it's just like a photo, or, you post a message or something. It's like that. So yeah, so I set that up this week, just the other day, and so far I like it. So check that out. And otherwise, for those of you leaving, we'll see you later. Like and subscribe if you like watching my videos. Okay. All right. For the rest of you staying, I'm going to try to put together a little Canada video, just a short little one, because I took a lot of video, but I didn't really want to add it here because I already knew this was going to be long. So sometime in the next week, I'll post it. I'll just string my videos together and post it, and probably won't do a whole like introduction type thing, but just so you can see what I saw. It was a lovely, lovely week. And I really, if you ever get the chance to go to that part of Canada, I highly recommend it. It was perfect weather. It was the first few days in Victoria the first few days we flew into Vancouver. We took the ferry to Victoria, which is actually on Vancouver Island itself, which I didn't realize. But we had a great time. We went to the gardens. The botanic gardens there are just incredible because they're in the, they're right on the water. It's the moisture and all that, the nutrients from the sea, all that stuff, like they can grow things there that we can never grow here in Colorado, basically. So that was gorgeous. That was well worth it. We also went, there's an old fancy hotel. It's the Empress, and they do high tea. So we did tea there one day, and that was lovely. My husband was indulging me because I love things like that. So went and did that. I was having a little bit of trouble with my knee and my hip. So I couldn't get my knee totally straight. I finally did. I'll tell you about that. But it was okay. It just, walking around a lot early on was hard. but we did it, and I kind of just pushed through. So I do need to go get my knee checked out, but I was like, I'm fine now, so I'm not gonna worry about my husband. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make me do it if I want to go on any more trips. So yes, sucks getting old. All right, so we spent the first 2 days in Victoria, did those things. We also just walked around, enjoyed ourselves. Then we took the ferry back and we went to Vancouver, the city of Vancouver. We had a hotel. It was a 1-bedroom, well, I guess it was really 2-bedroom apartment, like a hotel room, but it was like a 2-bedroom hotel suite like thing. So had a kitchen, had a washer dryer, the whole thing, but it wasn't an Airbnb. It was not an apartment. It just was like one of those longer, like if you were there and gonna stay for a while type hotels. And it was beautiful. It was great location. It was in this part of Vancouver called downtown Vancouver called Yaletown. Yale, like the university, and then town. Yeah, so perfect location. We did, one day we walked around, and then by that point my husband was like, we're either gonna cut off your leg. No, he didn't say that. But by then we were like, we have to figure out the situation with my leg. So we went and rented bikes because I was like, well, let's try bike riding because that might be like less painful for me. And it was. And not only was it less painful, but my knee that wouldn't totally straighten out fixed itself because I was bike riding. So yeah, so we rode all over Vancouver, went to Granville Island, went to a couple beaches. The beaches there are not like, well, I guess if you're not used to warmer weather, you could go lay on the beach, which a lot of people did, but we just went and checked them out and just kind of rode around and enjoyed it. We also went out, we took the bikes, we had the bikes for 2 days, so we went out to Stanley Park, which they have this area where there's all these huge totem poles, and the wildlife, the greenery is so beautiful. We did a tour of like a little walking tour with a woman who's an indigenous woman, so she was able to talk to us about the history of the land and the people, and it was fabulous. So we had a great time. It was great also having a place that was not just a hotel room with the bed, because we were able, like, we would go out in the mornings, we would have nice lunch and breakfast out, and then we would have a nice relaxing evening back in the hotel, and it was really nice. And the hotel had a pool and hot tub, which was great because just being able to soak my leg. So yeah, so it was just a wonderful time. We had a great time, and we did a little bit of like shopping, but not a whole lot. I mean, yarn and candy bars. That's all we did. But mostly just, checking out the city. It's a very livable city as far as my husband and I are concerned, because you could really get around. Like, we didn't need a car. We took the subway or the train, and we didn't take a bus, but we took the train. We took the bikes. The bikes were great. They have dedicated bike lanes everywhere, so perfect for riding. So that was it. We also, right before we left, the day before we left, and I didn't mention this earlier, but we had gone to see Chris Martin and Coldplay here in Denver. That was wonderful. Great concert. Our daughter had a wonderful time. It was nice to hang out with her and do something fun. You know, she lives in our basement, but you know, she's busy. She's 24. She's kind of in and out and doing her own thing. So it was nice to go do something fun with her, just the three of us. So our son and daughter-in-law and grandson did not go to the concert, so it was nice just the three of us to do something together. So that was fun too. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up because we're getting long. Plus the postman just brought me something. He just dropped off a package. I know what it is, but it's not yarn, so not sharing. TV books, did not finish any books. We're watching Department Q on Netflix, which is a British show, like a police drama type thing. Really good, highly recommend. That's about it. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up. Everybody have a great week. I will probably in the next few days post the video of just some random video that I took throughout Vancouver. All right, have a great time or great week.